Mr. Golden, I recognize Mr. Brown for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Benz, for inviting me to testify today. Members of the subcommittee, my name is Kurt Brown. I'm a lobsterman from Cape Elizabeth, Maine, and a marine biologist at Ready Seafood Company in Portland, Maine. I think if there's one thing that we can all agree on today, it is that right whales are majestic animals and they deserve our protection. I would argue that there isn't a group in this country that has done more to protect right whales than Maine's lobster men and women, despite the fact that most of us, myself included, have never seen a right whale. I started lobstering when I was 8 years old, and I've been protecting right whales since I was in high school. I remember back in my senior year, the spring of my senior year, all the way back in 1998, I spent my last $100 the spring of that year to buy whale-safe gear so I could go lobstering that summer. Since then, our industry has done everything from putting weak links into our end lines and then putting new and different weak links into our end lines. We have removed all of our floating rope and replaced it with sinking rope. We have reduced the number of end lines and in the process removed over 30,000 miles of rope from the Gulf of Maine. We mark all of our end lines with specific markings so that in the unlikely event of an entanglement, we know exactly where that entanglement occurred. And we have closed over 900 square miles of productive fishing grounds at very lucrative times of year to fishing to protect right whales. All of this required a lot of effort on the part of Maine's lobster industry. And the take-home message of my testimony today is that this effort has worked. If there are two numbers that you remember from my testimony today, remember 0 and 0. There have been 0 documented entanglements of a right whale in Maine lobster gear since 2004. And there have been 0 documented mortalities associated with Maine lobster gear ever. Given this, you would expect the representative from Arizona and his supporters to be praising Maine's lobster industry for our conservation efforts. Instead, I have to be here today testifying in Washington, D.C., when I should be home getting my gear ready for our upcoming lobster season. This bill would have a devastating impact on Maine's lobster fishery, as it would allow the National Marine Fisheries Service to move forward with a rulemaking that could force Maine's lobster industry to shut down. With the 6-year regulatory reprieve included in the omnibus bill, our industry has time to conduct actual science and monitor where right whales are and where they aren't, and develop innovative gear technology that can be used for the future of our industry. Representative Grijalva's bill would eliminate the time needed for crucial research into patterns of right whale distribution and abundance and instead force a shutdown of Maine's lobster fishery. And the ripple effects across Maine would be widespread. Let me repeat that. This bill, which was drafted by radical environmental groups for a representative from Arizona, would put thousands of hardworking Mainers out of work without meaningfully protecting one right whale. Make no mistake about it, there is a lot at stake with this bill. The future of my family, who is here with me in this room, is at stake. The future of coastal communities from Kittery to Cutler is at stake. The future of Maine's tax base is at stake, and the future of our country's most iconic and sustainable fishery is at stake. When you leave here today and talk with your constituents and your friends about this issue, please remember those two numbers, 0 and 0. Thank you.